very good afternoon, and it's me, Paul Ma, again. I'm glad to see some of you back and some new faces. For this session, we want to talk about Batam Rising, right? I'm sure an interesting topic to some of us. But before I jump in with the questions, maybe I just go a quick round.
Good morning, everybody. So I'm Florent, Florent Blot. I'm the Chief Business Officer for BW Digital, so in charge of the DC development of the company, and the company developing both digital assets in the data center space and connectivity.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Yasmin. I'm from Biznet, handling for the Jakarta territory. So we provide also the internet connection, submarine cable, data centers, and cloud.
Hello, I am Indrama. We are a joint venture between Telkom and Singtel. We build data center in Batam. It's located in Kabil, next to.
I have to find a day to visit both your data centers in Batam. All right, but all right, let's jump straight into the first question. And really, tell me about Batam as a data center location and maybe some lesser known things about. Don't tell us the obvious stuff, right? But something that we might not necessarily know about. And maybe we start from my left this time with Yasmin.
For us, we see Batam as an ideal hub for international, like all the data center operator. The location is also strategic in Southeast Asia, which like Biznet itself. We are focusing to have a submarine. We see Batam as an ideal, the hub for all the data center operator. And the location is also strategic in Southeast Asia. And it's near to Singapore and Malaysia. And back then in 2016, we are already focused to develop infrastructure to have a ring network inside the Batam, like Nongsa and also the Kabil area. And right now we already have like 10 branches as our POP to cover the ring network there. Not only for the business, but also for the retail segmentation as well.
I think there are many interesting things in Batam. I will let my colleague back in Indrama tell the other advantages, but usually we try to compare Batam with our location in terms of DC development. I would not consider it the right way to see things. Batam is first a DC hub for Indonesia, an additional one. And as mentioned by Yasmin, in terms of connectivity, there are already many cables reaching Batam, domestic and international, and many more coming. In Sika, with our colleague there, NCC with Telin, Moratel with Rising 8, the Apricot cable with global players. So I think Batam is really, for Indonesia, has the capacity to be a next door to another big hub, which is Singapore. So that's one key advantage of Batam. And for example, in terms of latency from Singapore, it's even shorter to go to Batam than to go to some location in Malaysia, even in JB. Even east-west Singapore is longer than going direct to Nongsa or to Kabil. That creates the possibility for Batam to work in a cluster, Batam, Singapore, and Malaysia.
Yeah, talking about Batam, we have from Telkom Group, we have a sister company named Telin. First, Indonesian connected to the subsea cable from Singapore to Batam and then the rest of Indonesia. So this historically, Batam is kind of like a gateway or window to Indonesia. That's number one. The second one is, when talking about the Batam, is outside Sumatra Island and also Java Island, which is ring of fire. So Batam is, we can say, but we are not ahead of God, right? Is safe in terms of earthquake. So close to Singapore, it's about 20 kilometers. From my side in Batam, I can see when the sky is clear, I can see the MBS, So it's very close. It's half a marathon. If there is a land, you can, go there. It's very close to Singapore. The other things, we were talking about the connectivity. Right now is 12 subsea cable live, and it's going to be 3 or more than 3 connected to Batam. The other things, talking about the manufacture. Historically, Batam, our Indonesian government has a vision, Batam to be SEZ, Special Economic Zone. You know what is in Batam? Manufacture is 1,000 manufacture, electrical manufacture, semiconductor, including solar panel. So this related with the ecosystem of data center itself. You know, I can name my friend here, Snyder there, Trakindo there, including the solar panel. So it's the ecosystem provide what is needed surrounding the Southeast Asia. Cheaper than Singapore, cheaper than Johor, even cheaper in Jakarta. The other things, you know, when I said to my friend, yeah, hey, come to Batam, we can build the Batam data center. He can, no, I want to stay in Jakarta. No, Jakarta is very traffic jam. You know, compared to Batam, you know, my team said, hey, Pak Indrama, there's a traffic jam in Batam. It's only 15 minutes because of traffic light. It's not traffic jam, right? And then close to Singapore. You know, Singapore is not only digital hub, but center of business. I can say that you close to the global standard of everything, including the business, data center, and all the things. So Batam is, I think, it's very good place.
You are really good. Now I feel like taking a ferry to Batam for some seafood when I get back to Singapore. So thank you very much. Right. So I guess we talk about data centers, some lesser things known about Batam. So apparently seafood is one of them, and traffic jam in Batam is 15 minutes only, and that's not really a jam, right? So now what about subsea routes, right? What are some new subsea routes that would boost Batam's appeal as a regional interconnectivity hub? I think Yasmin and Florence, ladies first, huh?
Just a very short from me. Yeah, as Pa Indra said that the Batam is going to be an international gateway, right? And we already know that Batam already connect with multiple cable routes. That's why we are also like to have direct connection from, Batam, Dumai, and then through the Johor and Malaysia branching. And I think that's a good for redundancy as well.
Yeah, in terms of connectivity again, on our side, BW Digital, we consider connectivity as an enabler for all the industry that was mentioned by Pak Indrama. So sure for the DC industry, but also for all the local players within Batam, having needs for connectivity. And there are local players developing domestic markets, and also between linking Batam to Jakarta. There are a couple of new projects. So Insika developed by Singtel going from Tuas to Tanjung Memban. NCC developed by Telin and BW Digital going from Changi to directly to Nong Digital Park. So that will bring two new cables with direct fiber pairs to Singapore. I think there is Rising 8 from Moratel that will link again Batam with iFiber accounts to Jakarta. And for sure also Apricot will be in service in the next couple of months, bringing Google, Meta, and all the players direct to Batam. So I think the level of connectivity for Batam next year is already a reality. That's not a myth. So definitely that will serve all the industries within the island.
Yeah, I think building a data center, especially hyperscaler, needs a bandwidth. It's like bandwidth hungry, like also power hungry. In terms of the connectivity, I think it's there, and we invite many operators also to build. They have also a plan for that, connecting the Johor, Singapore, and Batam. Right now, I think connectivity is no issue because build. Many players coming to Batam. I think this will be many operator or subsea cables going to build and build more and more.
Thank you very much. So I guess my next question really is you all mentioned the Batam's location, right, between Singapore as well as Jakarta and Johor in Malaysia. So how does an edge footprint in Batam help to reduce latency, given the subsea network cables that you all talked about earlier? For Jakarta-centric traffic and even neighboring data center hubs in Singapore and Malaysia. How does that work from a, edge perspective?
Well, like I said, consortium of subsea cables led by Telin and BWD connecting Batam to Singapore is less latency, maybe it's around 1 to 5 milliseconds compared to Singapore or Batam to Jakarta. So it's kind of like Batam is, faster that need by especially high computation like AI. So I think this is a strategic things that have to have if Batam's going to build the data center, especially the hyperscaler, including the AI and all the high density computation. So I think latency is number one. I think this is one of the critical factors that we consider of that.
Pak Indrana, you raised an interesting point, right, where you talk about different kind of workloads, and it could be AI workloads, it could be inferencing, it could be AI training, maybe it could be cloud services and different stuff, and it could be in different places, right? In which case, what Batam could be the hub that connects the different locations together. Interesting. Florence, you want to add something?
Well, I think we are starting a very interesting discussion. It really depends of the applications of the compute infrastructure that will be delivered in the different data centers in Batam. Sure, one model is the hyperscaler, and they have their own requirements in terms of latency, in terms of building clusters, so where they need multiple locations with very short latency between the different locations. In that case, that's even in the milliseconds range, so within a cluster of data center in a zone. But there is not only the model of a hyperscaler and build-to-suit data center for hyperscaler. That's only one angle. I think there are many different angles, and I know that my friend from NeutraDC, they are also working on the enterprise market. And you mentioned industries within Batam. They will need their own smart factories. They will need to host their own compute infrastructure locally, and this is a different requirement in terms of latency, in terms of data also being localized within the island, within Indonesia. Same for Jakarta. Jakarta, as I mentioned, currently the main hub for this is Jakarta, Cikarang on around. But for Indonesia, the scale of Indonesia, there will need of all the location, backup location for industries, location for to develop also sovereign infrastructure, sovereign data. And that's where, and this is also a different latency requirement. For training, you don't need to be in the millisecond range. Even 20 milliseconds or 50 milliseconds, that can match. We don't know what we don't know. That's a word coming from Paul in one of his session. But in terms of computing infrastructure, things are very fluid currently. And there are many different applications with many different requirements. And I think depending on the type of data center and the type of market addressed, I think there is room for really different models. So that's how I would answer your question.
All right. I just want to ask another question, right? And my question really is, given all the good things that's happening in Batam, including the seafood and the data centers and so on, right? But I guess we know not everything is always perfect, right? So with that in mind, what are some policy moves do you see as necessary to close any remaining gaps, let's say around fiber, backhaul, skilled labor, or even permitting, right, to help Batam deliver on its promise for as a data center hub?
Historically, government of Indonesia put Batam as a strategic place in Southeast Asia. That's number one is very, very different with Jakarta. The other thing is when we look at the Batam position compared to Singapore and Malaysia, in data center there's a availability zone. So it's kind of like a triangle. This is Sijori name is come from maybe Vincent Nola. That's why we have a Sijori in July, right? Vincent is government between three countries together to collaborate. So I think it's a good vision from government side. The other things that what is the requirement when we build data center is power, water, connectivity. I think the government should come with the policy with permitting process is faster. That should be, we have to compare with. I think it's good when government should catch the gap. Maybe 3 days would be 1 day, but I admit it that there's still a gap. But I think the new government should look at this. It's a strategic one. And the other thing I think SEZ is one of the interesting, like I said, compared to Jakarta. And this should be improved between three governments, cooperate with the private, how we move the Sijori become digital hub in Southeast Asia rather than one. Because, Singapore is a limited space, limited power. That's maybe need help from Batam to, I don't know, maybe power, maybe water. And the other things, the policy of talent, because talent is right now is a lack, not only in Indonesia, not in Batam, but it's global. I think the government should support, back up the education, the vocational student to have a, Batam have many manufacture that I said, yeah, to the mindset of data center, because data center is a critical facility, 24/7 up and running. We have a polytechnic in Batam. Maybe we can also collaborate with the news the polytechnic in Singapore. So I think this should be, government should sit together. We all talk. We talk with the polytechnic Batam. We talk also to BP Batam. I think sit together, and then what policy needed, I think government is open for that.
No, when I asked this question, I thought this was the hard question, but clearly you have been giving it a lot of thought. You mentioned things like education, uplifting the local population, as well as making sure there's specialists that who can come in to help run the data centers, working as an economic zone, right? Tightening the relationship and policies across Malaysia, Singapore, and the Batam region to amplify the effects, right? And as well as, augmenting the facilities in Singapore and Malaysia. I mean, I confirm with Florence, I think Batam is larger than Singapore in area. So maybe I should be like Kevin, right? Move there for 4 days a week. Oh, he's gone now. Okay, so Florence, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think Pak Indra cover quite well, but I will reinforce what he said. I think Batam and even Indonesia, because I would extend I would extend also the question to Jakarta. All the ingredients are there. There are things in motion, but the question is the scalability, especially for the DC business. Everything is about scalability. I really don't like when we try to compare to Johor. And it's not a question. Let's have the question for Indonesia, Jakarta or Batam. Does the country needs to scale to a level that will feed all the industry that needs compute infrastructure and co-location and data center? What is missing? So I think from policy permitting perspective, there is still the need of a strong political willing to consider DC industry as a specific industry that needs support. And also all the power players, especially PL and Batam, if we speak of Batam, to be supported in that development, to be attractive enough to scale to the level that Indonesia deserves. And same for talent, same for water. Solutions are there to scale to what we need for water, for the next generation of liquid cooling. We can implement new water treatment plants. That's easy. Maybe it takes 1 year, 1 year and a half, but that can be done. Even import more gas to have LNG and grey. We'll discuss that later, but grey power to feed the growth. That's something that can be done, but that needs strong political support. It is there, but that should be amplified again and again. And there can be, Batam is a good example. For DC, this is a special economic zone, so great tax incentives. There can be other incentives that can be given to the DC industry.
Speaking of sustainability, how much time do we have left? Yeah, shouldn't have asked, right? So speaking of sustainability, I guess maybe the last 1 minute each, right? Maybe what are some initiatives when it comes to capturing renewable power in Batam?
Talking about renewable one, Batam is surrounding the sea. One thing be floating solar panel. That one thing. And I heard one of the manufacturer want to build floating solar panel. The other thing, our shareholders, Medco Power, has a project in Bulan Island next to Batam and close to Singapore. So they have a land there and build a farm of solar panel. They plan 2028 and 2023 will be up to more than 1 gig. So I think it's there. Maybe we have to detail that how to implement to our side, not only to Singapore. maybe there's a plan for that. And also to Nxera. So the resources there. The other things, if you look at the roadmap of PLN, connecting to geothermal from Sumatra. Yes, there's a roadmap for that, connecting to Batam. So renewable energy resources is there for Batam. So I think let's see and implement how get to our side.
Yeah, I think that's maybe there. That's the policy adaptation need to happen in the coming month, in the coming years. Because solution can be found, agree, geothermal, solar, but we need to have the right policies to have new players investing and propose this grey or renewable power in the coming years. But that will come.
So sounds like things are going well. We're in Batam and looking forward to the launch of both your data centers very soon. And thank you so much for your time, Yasmin, Indrama, and Florent. I really appreciate it. Even though reach out to them, they'll be around. I'm sure you can ask them questions.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.